looking for blockers. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return.
There are 3 categories. You have 18 options. ISO is selected.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Off the play fake on first down. The throw. And a sack. All the way back at the 5.
Well, it wasn't great field position to start with, and it's getting worse now. The defense gets a sack. They're getting aggressive up the field. They get to the QB, and they're sending a message.
The Panthers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile.
Short cross. Posts it. Audible.
Wants to go up top. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. He is lucky to get that one back, and the last thing you want is to turn it over on your opening drive. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today. 3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
On his way from around the 50. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground.
Over. 3 step. 3 step. Division.
This is a designed run. Keeps it himself and gets to first. They get him stopped, but the big gain has him on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13.
When you come out and the run game works right away, everybody gets confidence. Everybody's happy. And the whole playbook now is open for everybody to use.
Running back searching for a hole. Head into the end zone. Sprints into the end zone for a touchdown.
The best running backs are the guys that can just sniff out the end zone. That running back showed you all of his freakish ability on that play.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 6 categories.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the PAT makes it 7-0.
Entering play
they
call,
wasted no time on that drive. 2 plays, touchdown just like that. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
Gun, play tight, play from the single pack. Gun, and go flats.
The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. They went 3 and out on their first possession. Now to see if they can be more productive this time around. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Hauls it in. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the first down. Wants to adjust the pattern. They're looking to throw on 2nd and short. Caught near the sticks. It's Smith. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense. Hit right back to the line.
And the offense showing off this short passing game, moving the sticks. Nice job, and look at them. They're right on the football, ready to capitalize on this momentum.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Robinson. Really putting together a threat now. They got the first. It's at the 37.
I love the QB here. He holds it, he holds it, he holds it just long enough to let the receiver run the drag route, and then he puts it out in front of him so he can catch it on the run in stride and then turn upfield to use his speed.
Sluggo.
To the air on first down. Here's the pressure. Gets the first himself. And he gets out of there. He gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just chuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Wants to go up top on first down. Gets it out quickly. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. And the Panthers trying to get a touchdown on first and goal. He's looking to pass. Trying to barrel in. Touchdown, Panthers. Oh, that will be in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. A methodical drive, and they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target and make the big play, get the touchdown.
Into the end zone for the two-point conversion, and with that, they take the lead. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
There are 5 categories. You have third formation. There are 6, 5, nickel, double bracket.
Offense making its way onto the field to start the drive. Scanning the field, it's Wood. Gets it to the back. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
There are 5 categories.
What's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out of the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. Picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Cover 4 pawns.
This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Zings it complete to the right. Gets it up to the 35-yard line before going out of bounds. They were counting on making a few yards after the catch on 3rd down. Instead, they're staring at 4th.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times you trust your guy. You throw it to him and you say, I can make somebody miss or lower my shoulder and get to the sticks. The defense had none of that. Nice job tackling. Nice job forcing the 4th down.
They're in their own territory, but they are undeterred. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. Trying to do it on the ground. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chains. In their own territory, but completely undaunted as they go for it and make it on 4th down.
And it's crazy. I don't even think you have a second thought anymore. Even in your own side of the field, like, what, I'm going to have bad field position? Nah, I don't really care. We're going to go for it. We're going to play the numbers. We're going to be aggressive.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Intercepted. Oh, what a play. Just a short return, but that would have been icing on the cake. They've got it 1st down at the 42.
You know, I like the decision by the quarterback in terms of where he was going with the ball. Just don't like the accuracy. That was not good location on the throw. Got away from him a little bit, and the defense able to come up with a big pick.
He might want another play. Looking to throw on 1st down. That's caught. It's Robinson. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the 1st down, but a good gain on that play.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Audible. Post. Short cross.
They'll go to the air on 2nd and short. looking to buy time. Nifty little scamper
Entering
on
play
this one,
call
enough for
and
the first
every
down, and he
operation
slides in
categories. You
safely.
have 15 options. Each corner is a
We'll
selector.
see if they have enough time to get another snap before the clock hits 0. That's the end of the period, and Pittsburgh has the lead. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. They are
Entering
lined
play
up and
call
ready to go and get things started
Bills.
here in the second. First play of the period, first down here. They'll give it to the back. He's just outside the 20-yard line, stopped at the 21 after a pickup of 6. Guys, they're really starting to find a rhythm in conference play now. They'll try to keep it going through the rest of this ACC slate.
I think it's really important because they're building confidence early in the season. There were a lot of expectations on this team to play well, and they've been doing that. Obviously, David.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
There are 5 categories. You have 36 options. Cover, double, kick. Formation, 5. Tight. There are 2 categories. You have 15
Let's see what this
options.
offense has dialed up this time.
Selected. Give cushion.
Trying to beat him to the left. They'll knock him down for a loss of a
Entering
couple.
play call. Tight.
And this
There are
offense
2
on first down, man, they go
categories.
backwards.
You have
And they
15
built a
options.
deficit, and they've been sluggish, and they just need something to get going, to get started, because they kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12.
Give cushion.
Back to throw, it's Wood. Got his man. They make the stop, trying to pick up just
Entering
a
play
little bit
call.
at a time to get to that
There are
first
5
down marker.
categories. You have 36
Well, the defense
options.
playing
Cover
zone
6
coverage
is
there. They're taking
selected.
away all of the QB's primary options down the
Cover
field,
6
so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
Nicholson 2. 1 double. Cover 2 man.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. And the deflection by the defense brings up 4th down.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. You can see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
Cover 4 over storm brave. Cover 4 pawns.
Boy, if they don't convert this 4th
Yeah,
down,
pushing.
there will be questions to be answered.
Give cushion.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the grab past the marker. And he is brought down.
Entering
But what
cover
a
3
move he put
cover
on
9
that
showed
first defender.
Godfrey 1 Robert Perez.
That tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. 4th down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
Gives it on the option. Breaks into the open. Good pickup there as he gets the
Entering
first
play
down.
call.
They'll mark him at the
Cover
48.
1. Cover 4 over
First
storm
down,
brave.
you know you
Cover
always want to
over storm
establish
brave.
the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big game.
The offense has it now at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10.
Middle 3rd.
To the air. It's Wood. Looking for a huge play. And he makes the catch inside the 25.
Entering play.
He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Man, a lot of times when you blitz that linebacker, it's about timing. You don't show your hand, and he gets up to the line of scrimmage, gets right through the line, makes the tackle for a loss.
And as soon as the running back gets the football, he's got a face full of linebacker.
Not much you can do there. Like, you got to have a little better block. You got to identify that blitz a little bit faster by the offensive line.
Got his man on the right. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding. I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
Now facing a 3rd and long.
Seam flat. Give cushion.
They'll go to the air. Deep shot for the end zone. And he can't quite make the connection as he was trying to pay off his red zone opportunities.
Formation. There are 6 categories. Over. There are 5 categories.
They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. The holder will kneel at the 24, a 34-yarder coming from the right hash. Absolutely
entering play call.
They trim the lead to 5. It's 15-10. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, a big-time top 25 duel. Let's get right to the pictures. OU, oh my. Oklahoma is putting on a show offensively today. They just simply can't be stopped. They're up 14 over Alabama. Week in and week out in the SEC, it's a battle of attrition. And if anything big changes, you'll hear about it here.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Power football with the run. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
And I would just hate to be in the shoes of these defenders trying to tackle this running back because, of course, you're so afraid of this guy shaking you and using his elite speed to make you look bad on a highlight film somewhere, but you forget this guy can still run you over. You saw it on that play.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Safe completion on the screen. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
The defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Might be calling a hot route. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Complete out of the backfield, looking for the sticks. He gets it so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
You have 15 options. All go is selected.
In their own territory, no problem. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it.
Coast sit. Slug go. Coast. Did.
He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not.
Man, 1st half being that aggressive on your side of the field, that's a different world. Like, you live in the analytics world, and I know people say go for it more often. I don't see the point in going for it on that one early in the game in that situation.
Now the pitch. Inside the 25. There he goes. And that's what this option will do to you. They got the pitch man free, and he was off to the races. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offense can get a jolt of momentum headed to the locker room if they can take the lead here. Off-play action on first down. Fires into the end zone. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
There are 3 categories. You have 18 option, gun, curl flats.
Their own end zone nipping at their heels as they start this drive from their own 2.
Audible.
Quarterback making adjustments.
SilK.
Feet in the end zone, looking to fire. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Well, I always say this, when you're backed up on offense, those are some of the best opportunities to take deep shots. In all likelihood, the defense is expecting run. You're going to try and buy yourself a little bit of real estate, so they're playing press man coverage. And that's when you want to take advantage of that coverage. But the defense doing a really good job on the back end that time, being in position, forcing the incomplete.
Going to take a shot at this DB. Oh, he makes the play. It's intercepted. Down at the 16-yard line, and they're threatening to score in the waning moments of the half.
Entering.
And I don't mind this coaching staff and their decision to stay aggressive here with the lead at the end of the first half. You've got a quarterback that, in my opinion, has earned the right to throw the ball in these situations, but you've got to be better with your decision-making right there. That's a costly turnover, which now gives your opponent the chance to score some more points here at the end of the half.
Unloads to the wideout. Bounds into the end zone for a touchdown.
And that's a great job by this offense. That's how you work the clock. You want to take as much as you can and punch that ball in the end zone. Masterful clock management, and they now take the lead going into that.
And you just got to wonder, too, David, how does that affect the confidence of the defense, right? They needed to find some way, somehow, to get a stop, limit the damage on that final drive. They give up a touchdown. They're going into halftime now, trailing. They've got to raise their level of play in the second half.
He's into the end zone, and they'll put 2 more on the board just before halftime.
Man, it's nice to call plays when you call a pass, and the quarterback doesn't see anything, and he just takes off and makes you look good and turns it into a run. Nice job on that 2-point conversion.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Final seconds of the first half. Let's see if they can pull off a little magic. Quarterback may change this route. Wants to throw on first down. Snags it over the middle. Turning it on. And he's brought down after a nice game. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half.
Short cross. Post.
Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the middle. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Entering base model screen, you have 5 options.
It will kick off, ready to get things started here in the third quarter. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Double bracket. Give cushion.
Keeping it on the ground to open the second half. Got enough for the first down. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Entering play call.
What
3-3
perfect execution on that big run. Everything perfectly blocked, and this guy doesn't need a lot of room.
I love how this offensive line communicates and works up front. You see guys winning their one-on-one battles. There's double teams happening. Guys are getting into the second level and creating big lanes for this running back.
Dropping back, it's Wood. Makes the grab. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield, and he moves the sticks.
They'll snap it on first down from the 35. The give on the option. Can't get him to the ground. He's loose. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown. An impressive run from the back. Gets him 6 points, good drink of water, and maybe a little oxygen.
He definitely needs some oxygen after that long run, but it looks simple, right? Just hand the ball off, and he can make big plays like this in the run game. Man, does it make offense fun.
With the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. Quick strike offense on that replay scoring drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Looking for a physical attack from the guy. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
To the air on first down. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
Strong safety blitzes can sometimes be hard to see coming from a quarterback standpoint because we're used to seeing the strong safeties insert themselves into the box, but you don't oftentimes see them blitz like that. That can be tricky to watch.
Might be changing the route. Gonna swing it on second down. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
Good news is they didn't lose a ton of yards. The bad news is that's the third sack they've given up now in this game. They have got to do a better job protecting this quarterback.
On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. Caught over the middle, and Soto. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered, an explosive play to the 40.
Well, how about the offense setting that play? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Blasted as he lets it go. The quarterback's a little more on target there. Maybe they hook up, but it's an incompletion.
And the defense at this point understands that the offense is going to have to try to throw the football, all right? They already got a lead, so they're now pinning their ears back and getting after this guy, trying to get him to the ground.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Stopped right at the 40-yard line, and this defense celebrating the turnover.
We we've just seen in this game, the ball's just gotten away from him a little bit. A couple of times, just hasn't been able to put it where he wants to. And as a result, that's now his second pick thrown in this game.
And we'll see the offense make its way onto the field here, hoping for a successful drive. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Well, this guy's been an animal all game long. He's had tons of success running the football. The defense had to do something to stop him. Give the D-line and that front seven tons of credit for being really physical there, getting the TFL.
Gives it on the option. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot, unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Looking downfield, it's Wood. With the catch, it's Valentine. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
One of the things I love about this defense, they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
And the offense with no intention to draw the defense off sides. They want to run on fourth down. Sticks it in his belly. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
Defensively, the only time you really lock in on the fullback is fourth down and short, and you could tell they were dialed in. They knew he had to get a short bit of yards. They stuffed their face in there, stuffed the big fullback, and didn't let him go anywhere.
Wants to go up top on first down. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
Well, they're trying to attack the middle of the field. That time the ball a little too high for his wide receiver, and it falls incomplete.
So now it's second and long. Quarterback making checks. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Takes a big stride inside the 10. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6. They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off.
Short cross. Audible. Zig. Audible.
Looking to throw. Pocket breaking down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Soto.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Touchdown, Panther! Quick strike through the air for the score.
I'm going to spread you sideline to sideline with all my speed, make you cover the whole field. Nice job by the offense, going with a little spread look, taking advantage of the speed they had on the field, and getting the big touchdown.
They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Over. There. 3. Over. 3. Step. Formation. 3 to 4. Tight. Cover 4. Cover 3 match.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass, it's Wood. It's complete on the right side.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Offense gets set for second down. They'll go to the ground. Plows through the defense. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. Big catches, big plays, tons of yards through three quarters for these two guys. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth.
Over their double bracket. Tampa 2. Formation. 3-3 stack.
So first down will open up the final period. They'll send the back in motion. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And they're kind of going to their closer now, right? Like they give it to the physical guy that gets downhill, north-south, right away, hard to tackle, falls forward, paving holes, and this is a good opportunity for this offense to keep pounding and try to run that clock out.
Audible.
Looks as if he's going to run it. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs. So it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going. Moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the perimeter.
Quick pass on the jet motion. They'll move the chains. Good execution on third down. They've got it at the 41.
There are 5 categories.
Just went with something very easy, very reliable. Flip it forward. Let your receiver do the rest. I only got to get a few yards. Nice job. Nice execution. First down.
They'll put it in play from the 41 on first down. He'll do it himself. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of his QBs, got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook. But on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
Back to throw, it's Wood. Dumps it to the back. Makes the grab, it's Harris. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
They're looking at a third down and short from the 33. They'll try to get the first through the air. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed. Hits the accelerator to the right. 10. Touchdown, Pitt. What momentum you get when the defense comes out with a play like that.
How about that play by this defense? The offense trying to salt the game away with the lead. Defense makes the biggest play of the ball game, getting the pick, finding the end zone, and taking the lead late in this ball.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
There are 5 categories. You have 36 options. Cover 3 matches selected. 3 stack.
Never a reason to panic. Just run your offense. Plenty of time here. Down 1 possession late in the fourth. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Makes the catch. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
There are 5 categories.
Well, the defense did a nice job taking everything away down the field, but once the drag route was caught, they just couldn't rally to the ball carrier in time to make a tackle, and as a result, new set of downs.
He'll ride his man on the option. He'll toss it. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Playing the option, man, consistently playing responsibility football. Nice job by the defense being where they're supposed to be. This option will just keep giving it to you over and over and over again, and you got to pass those tests.
Fires to the wideout. Can't hang on. It's incomplete, and you can't worry about the footsteps when you're running those crossing routes. It'll be third down. The defense coming out to protect the lead, but this offense still has plenty of time. Likely their final drive. To the air, it's Wood. Get it out on the screen. They stop him right at the 40-yard line. It's fourth down. Will they bring out the punt team?
Formation. There are 6 categories. There are 5 free step. There are 5
it's
categories.
It's a one-score game lead, and they've got to go for it on fourth down.
Audible.
He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. So that defense keeps the lead right where it is and a chance to build on it, David.
Yeah, the defense did a great job. Now, the offense, you know what you're going to get from this defense. They have to be aggressive. They're trying to get the football back later in the game, Jesse.
Because they're going to be so aggressive too, David. You know, on offense now, you have a chance to break one maybe in the run game or finding a one-on-one matchup in the passing game to really pad the lead.
He wants to change this route.
Audible.
To the air on second down. Fires to the tight end. Across the 25. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down. Guys, this one's going to go down as a nice win against a ranked opponent. We didn't get the upset that many had thought we might.
No, they proved to the entire country watching this game that they are indeed the superior team. Offensively, defensively, running, throwing, whatever it is they wanted to get accomplished today in all 3 phases, David, they were better.
Yeah, and listen, at this point, I don't really care about the beauty contest. Like, your goal is to survive and advance. You played a really, really good opponent. You took care of business and continue to stay above them in the rankings, which is the only thing that matters at this point in the season.
The Panthers can really attack on this second and short.
Audible.
Back to pass. He's got him still on his feet.
Routes like that are great times. I got great, fast, speedy guys on the outside. Quick drag route, get the ball in his hands. Let him do the rest.
First and goal as they can just take their time and try to put this one out of reach. Touchdown, Panthers. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. That'll give them a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it to eat clock, but if you score, go up by 2 possessions, nail me, coffin. Great execution by this offense to put this game away.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return.
There are 5 categories. You have 36 options. Cover 3 matches selected.
First snap of this drive will come from their own 17.
Audible.
Looking to pass. It's Wood. Just a short pass to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
That's just not going to get it done, David. At this point in the game, you're trailing. You've got to pick up the urgency, and this offense is going to have to get more aggressive throwing downfield.
They're going to have to take shots, but I know that, right? The defense knows that. I'm going to stay deep, and I'm going to let you complete all these passes underneath because the clock running is my friend.
They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that third down play. He'll try to get it through the air. Takes the easy throw in the flat.
Entering play
Absolutely
call
nowhere to go
formation
as this
BearrR 6
defense
over
makes a third down
BearrR 5
stop.
categories
Down by
30s
multiple
audible
possessions. You can't
division.
come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Falls incomplete. They fought to the final whistle, but that's going to do it.
Entering post-game screen, you have 3 options. Stats is selected.